Hello, how is everyone? I've got some sunshine coming in the window, so we'll see how that does. And I'm trying to kind of straighten myself out. Try to. Anybody get any snow? I know a lot of the country has been. So what are we talking about today? I thought I would just grab a couple of stamp sets, and I kind of saw a technique as I was looking through YouTube, and I thought I would kind of adapt it to what I like to do, okay? So, let's see, just one sec. Make sure I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. There it is. All right. Not that one. Sorry, got this new light system. That's all crooked. I can never quite get everything straight. I try. All right, so we're talking about these two sets that are current in the latest catalog, January and February catalog. And I just thought this one was adorable. So let's get started. Set those up there. And we are using Glacier for one card, Journey for another, and then I will have a third card that I will finish up after the video, okay? So, I'm going to show you the first card, which is right here. Move my hand so you can see it. And I will pull it up. Afterthought, I think I would have done this a little bit darker. Maybe stamp it 2 or 3 times with a Misty or whatever you have. So we're talking about these frames, and you can see that this is just a little raised up, just to give it some depth. And how I did that. Some tips for you. So I'm using this thin cut that is the Stitch Fancy Backgrounds Z3686. And you can see that I've got them stuck together with some washi tape. And you want to stamp your image, let it dry. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, we're going to use markers over the top, so I want it to dry and not bleed. 2, I found out, ask me how I know, I found out that if you put washi tape on something that's ink hasn't quite dried, it's going to stick to the washi tape and could transfer somewhere else when you go on to cut something else. Yeah, ask me how I know. All right, so a lot of people are always asking me how I color. And I thought I would just go through and show you a little bit on this one, and then I'll cut it out. So, I usually will take my lightest color I'm going to use, or the darkest color. Now remember, if you color this whole thing in, and you want to go back and blend it, it's not going to blend as easily. So if you work on just a section, let me see if I can get this to come down a little bit closer. Hold on. Just so you can see a little bit more. Close your eyes for a second if you get dizzy. Gotta figure out which way goes down. Not that one. This one. Sorry for the wiggle and the jiggle. Okay. So hopefully that's a little better. Alright, got my new equipment, so it's kind of a learning curve. Let's see. That's a little closer. Yes, okay. So we're working on this lovely little Highland cow, and I'm going to start with my tan shades, which we don't have anymore, but a Highland cow is kind of a, it can be a white cow, a black cow, or a kind of reddish brown cow. So, and one thing I usually do, because I don't know, panicking today, is I'll go and give myself just a little bit of a, okay, that's what those colors are. And that's what it looks like. And you can even do it on your paper, because that's cardstock on cardstock, and it's going to give you a little truer color, okay? So I started with this one, which is the tan blend, and I went to the darkest shade. And I'm just going to not pay that much attention to how I'm coloring, just where I'm coloring. And I'm hitting all those dark lines that are there, okay? And I'm just going over them a little bit. And I'm going to give it a little bit darker here, kind of wherever I think there's going to be some shading. Okay, so we got that pretty much done. Now we're going to go on to the middle color. I'm just going to add some more color in between. And you can see I'm just not doing it a lot. It's going to blend it a little bit. And then if I want more, I can go back and kind of like right here would be really dark. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Right here is really dark. Try and keep my fingers out of it. All these little spots are going to be a little darker. And go back. And you can also see, I'll hold it up for you. You can also see that I've left some white as well. And I got that from another demonstrator. It's a little hard to color. This is the lightest color of this tan blend onto here. And then, so you can go either way with your darkest or your lightest. And you can go back and forth. So then I'm just going to add a little bit of that. That's too light. It's not showing up enough, so I'm going to go down to the dark. I'm just going to give it a little dark. And if I don't like that, I can go back to the light because it hasn't quite dried yet, and I can blend it out. And it'll just deepen that first layer of color, okay? Now, the other thing I would say is, like I said before, color first and then cut them out. So this is the tan shades. I don't know if you've ever looked at the markers, but if you look at the markers, it tells you what color it is. This is 1, 2, and 4. So there's a third one in between. And then it goes on to the shades, which is a 6, an 8, and a 9. So you can see from here to here, there's another color in between. So that'll kind of give you an indication of these two are going to be close. This is going to be a little darker. Same with this. This one's farther away, a little lighter. These are going to be more graduated, closer. Okay? So on the horns, I took the light color of the shades and filled that in. And then if you want some definition, because that's just kind of a flat color, you can jump up to the next color, which is 2 colors away. And just, it's nice because Custom Heart gives you where the little dark spots are going to be. So then you just go in and you add that little bit of dark around, okay? Now, for this one, this is Glacier paper, Glacier ink, and I am using Ice Blue Blend, okay? And again, you can either start with the light, fill it in, and add your dark over the top, or you can add your darker color and go backwards. So let's see which colors I used. So if you put them down here, I can kind of see, okay, I didn't really use the darkest one. Looks like I used the lighter too. So we will go to our medium color. And again, that is going to be my darkest color. So I'm just kind of coloring where those darker spots would be. And I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm not really concentrating on it. I'm just getting some color down. And then what is kind of cool is to kind of leave some white space. And it almost makes it look, so I'm doing this one just slightly different from the last one. And I will show you that. I left a long kind of a white line versus this one. There's just some little pieces that are white. And you can see that that gives you a lot of depth. It gives you something, you know, a little more interest. And then this seems a little bit light. So I'm going to go back and hit that with a little darker. Just where I think it would be a smidge darker. And then that seems a little bit too dark. So if you go back right away, blend it out. It's going to give you a darker color, but it's not going to be as dark. And you can do dots, you can do lines, you can do circles. I hate it when that happens. If this happens, sometimes these barrels are really tight, or somebody will put it on really tight. You can wiggle it off sometimes. If not, here's how you fix that. You go to your smallest glue dot, and thank you, Tim, for telling me this. And you put a glue dot right in here. Don't know if you can see that. Focus, pull it back. There we go. Can you see that? And that will just give it a little bit something more to grip to, okay? So that way you can hopefully get the lid off again and push that down, okay? Now, the reason why those come out is because you can refill these. So you can go on Spectrum Noir's site and buy yourself some reinkers. But they're, again, very important that you look at these numbers and you get ice blend 1, 2, or 3. So you would need to buy 3. They'll last you a long time. You know, help your friends fill up theirs too. Okay, so that's how we do that. Let's just pretend that this is all done. We're going to place this down and cut this out. Then we have our 2 layers, and we have this. Isn't they cute? And this little snowflake and this little cluster of snowflakes is what I pulled from this Bear Hugs and Dear Wishes stamp set. Okay, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And if you could like and share, that would be great. And if you could go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, that would really help me out. Then I went to get some dots because I wanted some just tone-on-tone dots. And whenever I get my dots, I always put what the colors that they list in the catalog on my dots. So that way I have a quick reference. I don't have to say, oh, what color is that? I know that's Lagoon, but what color is that? And then I can look and see it's Capri. This may or may not be a current set, but just go in your stash, because even if it's a shade darker, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, with Close to My Heart, it's going to match. It's just a shade variance. It's just like our cardstock. On the front is full strength color, and on the back is 30% less. So you can go, you know, over a color hue, if you will. So this is the one that matches, but I really liked the Lagoon color for this one. So there's no reason why you couldn't, you know, mix and match. And this Capri actually matches this, so you could have even used the Capri ones on there, okay? So don't be afraid to go back and see what you have in your stash that will match or a hue off. So that's the first card. Now, again, we would have colored this, and I'll show you the second card. This first card was using Glacier, and the markers that I used again were the, where'd it go? Iced Blue Blend, the Tan Blend, and the Tan Shades, okay? So then this is the second card. Move that one out of the way. And I decided to do something different. So I took the bigger of this thin cut. I stamped my image, I colored my image. Then I put this one down. And then I took my circles. Where'd my circle go? Oh, stuck to the back of my card. That's not good. And I took the second to the smallest of the circles, and these are current, Z3318. And actually, these are the fancy stitched ones are available online only. They haven't been in the catalog for a while, but we still have 405 of them. I checked this morning, okay? And this number is Z3686 if you want those. So I took the circle out, and I just kind of placed it where I wanted it, and then I cut those two pieces out at once. And you can see here that I have raised that circle up. I stamped some of the background. I stamped a word. And then this one, the colors that I used were True Blue Blend, True Blue shades. So the blends are the lighter, the shades are the darker. And then I also brought in the blue turquoise shades. You might say, why did you do that? Well, let me show you. Because if you put down these two colors, let me get myself a piece of scratch. Hold on. Okay. So this is the True Blue Blend. And this is a current color. Ask me how I know. I put a dot on them. And then I went to the True Blue Shades, which is also available. And I put those down below. So that is the lightest, the darkest, or the medium, and the darkest. Well, then I went to this piece of cardstock, which is the Journey True Side. And I'm like, those are a little too blue. So then I said, what about this one? And this again is the blue turquoise shades. So then I put this down and I thought to myself, whoa, that's really green, right? That's a little bit green. So let me show you what I did. Since I already colored that in, I'm just gonna ink up what I need to show you, which is that, and I really inked that up badly, but you know, my pad is really juicy because I just redid it, refilled it. So give that a second to dry. And what I wanted to tell you is that an alcohol marker, you can blend these colors together to get this, okay? So, hopefully that won't bleed too badly. It is dry, but you know, the alcohol is gonna mess with it. All right, so, and I'm trying to figure out what I did. I put a dark color down and it was too blue and too dark. And I think it was this one. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, that's really dark, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta lighten that up. So let's pull out a lighter one. So I went from the shades to the, I'll show you how dark this one was. So you can see how, let's see if I can do it in the air, how when you have something really dark, it's probably a little bit dry, but you can lighten it up. Just go over it enough and it'll lighten up, okay, from what it was. So then I said, but I need it a little more turquoisey. So, and unfortunately we've been talking, but I went in and I added some turquoise over the top, and then went back to a lighter color of the blue and kind of blended it out. And then again, like I said, you can go back and add a little bit darker color. But compared to this color that is pretty blue, right? I have now kind of made it a little more of a green blue, which is better suited for the card. Which it wouldn't be bad if you had the blue on there, but I just wanted it a little closer, and I wanted to let you know that you can do that with your markers, and it won't hurt the tips of the marker to go between the dark and the light. They're alcohol, they're a great professional marker, and they work good that way. Just wish we had all the colors that we used to have. Okay, so originally what this card idea is supposed to be. You can see that mine is, the cows are both contained within the frame, right? And the video that I saw was actually just random stamping all around the background, or, you know, the size of an A2 card. So that way you had some over the edge. And this is what I'll do with the secondary card that I'll make, or the third card I'll make today. So you're supposed to kind of have it like that. And I'm not going to cut it out until I get it colored first. And then we'll put that on a card going the other way. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that you will look at your supplies in a different way. Know that you can mix and match squares and circles. And you can layer your thin cuts together, get more use out of your thin cuts. You know, it's easy to do. And by doing it this way, stamping it first, coloring it first, and then cutting it out, it matches. You don't have to try and stamp over the top of two pieces that are cut. Okay? So let me know what you think. And I hope you have a great weekend. Hey, Judy, thanks for watching. And I will see you next week. Again, let me do my usual. Which one do you like better? Number 1 or number 2? And we'll give you just another little look at them. And I will say bye for now. Happy stamping!